Okay, so we have one more way to modify polyatomic ion names that we want to take a look at. So that is this. So if you have a polyatomic ion, and phosphate is the example, but it really could be anything. Let's use arsenate instead. So arsenate is one arsenic, 4 oxygens with a total of 3 negative charge. So it turns out that that can bond to hydrogen, and it can bond in the way like we would sort of expect, the way we learn to make chemical formulas, where you would combine 3 hydrogens with the arsenate ion like that, giving you H3ASO4. And that is an acid because it starts with H, so that's something we want to leave for a later discussion. Right now we want to look at the case in between, where you do something like combining 1 hydrogen with the arsenate ion. Well, what do you get? Well, you get still an ion, essentially. You have not made a neutral compound here. So what is that? Well, it's 1 hydrogen with the arsenic and the 4 oxygens. So hydrogen, arsenic, 4 oxygens. But now you have to think about what the charge is going to be. So here this was a positive 1. That was a 3 negative. Take 3 negative, add positive 1 to it. You get 2 negative. So this is the next ion. You could do that with 2 hydrogens. You could take 2 hydrogens and put them together with the arsenate. And you would do the exact same thing. H2ASO4. Now you look at the charges. 2 positives with a 3 negative. That would just add up to -1. So you have 2 ions that are made of arsenate and hydrogen, but they still have a negative charge. So we're not going to give them an acid name. We're not even going to call them any kind of a neutral compound. They still need to have an anion name. So this one we're just going to call hydrogen arsenate. Not very creative. It's an ion made from hydrogen and arsenate. And then we would still want to call this one hydrogen arsenate as well, but there are 2 hydrogens there, so we need to differentiate. So we're going to call it dihydrogen arsenate. So now these are all negative ions that have the same things in them. This one, arsenic and oxygen, we call it arsenate. This one, we call it hydrogen arsenate, and it's hydrogen with arsenate with a 2 negative charge. This one, dihydrogen arsenate, 2 hydrogens with arsenate with a -1 charge. So that's how you use hydrogen to modify these polyatomic anions.